Hi, everyone. Um, One thing that I love to do is to kind of sit and write. Um, I wrote a little, like, I wouldn't say like a poem, it's more like of a story of what's going on in my head. When I was a little girl, I spent a lot of time with my grandma looking up at the stars, and we would sit there and she would hold me in her lap and we would look up and she'd be like, Christine, how many stars do you see? Christine, count the stars. And I just remember laying there and just counting them, and I'm trying not to get emotional because when I look into the night sky, into the stars, I don't just see stars. I don't just see a sky. I see a unknown an unknown presence that I don't think that we realize how powerful it can be. Have you ever looked up at the sky? Have you ever sat there and laid there in the dark in the middle of nowhere and just counted the stars? And my favorite part is just like looking and trying to count how many shooting stars, that you can find. And my grandparents had some property up in Canada on an island, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It's actually rated one of the most known places for star watching. There's no street lights, there's no stoplights, there's nothing. It's pure dark. And when you just lay there in the peacefulness and you listen to the water and just look up at the sky, it really feels something inside of you that is just different, and it makes you appreciate the sky in a totally different way. Yeah, people say I love the stars, but you have to be in a certain type of presence, I feel, to understand that. And my life growing up was super hard. Um, Very, very hard. I know I shared a little bit on here about not having a mother growing up, how she left me. My grandma had partial custody of me on the weekends. Just a lot of stuff that I'm not going to get into. But I thought that I would just share a little thing that I wrote that to me, I just love. I just love it. It's super short, but sometimes the short things that you write can be so, so powerful. So, I'm going to read this to you guys, and I just hope that I can share a little bit of how I feel with you guys. So the title of this is called A Wish Upon the Unknown. Looking up in the night sky, I see about 1 billion stars. I made about 1,000 wishes. Maybe God will hear this one. And I dream and I dream and I dream and I dream that God will hear me. And I dream and dream and dream and dream that maybe this time he will hear me. Maybe this time my wish upon a shooting star will come true. I've made more wishes than I can count. I've spent nights looking up into the dark sky, counting all the stars I could, making every wish I could, making those moments of wishes pure. Maybe the more pure the wish is, my chance of that wish coming true is as great as the unknown. It is so, so short. I know that. But to me, this that I've written is just so powerful. And I will explain why. Growing up, I grew up very religious with my dad, Christian school, all that. But I know that I always felt the closest I've ever felt to God is actually being outside in the stars. To me, that's my church. My church is being outside. My church is looking up at the sky and taking into appreciation what God has. I don't believe that you need to go to church to have a relationship with God. The world is His. This is His world. You could have your own relationship with Him, and He will understand you. But when I'm outside or I'm hiking, that presence of God that is with you is way more powerful than a church could ever, ever be. But anyways, my prayers would be with the stars. So I would find the brightest star that I can find, and I would pick out that star and I would close my eyes and pray. And that would be my prayer and that wish, whether it was for me to have a better life, for me to see my mom, for me to um, be able to listen to music the way that I wanted to, or to go to the movies, because growing up so strict, I wasn't allowed to do those things, which is wrong. It's wrong. But all I remember is just like laying there with my grandma and just looking at the stars, even if it was at her house on every other weekend, and we would just look at them. And I kind of dedicated this to her, just like how she helped me feel close to God in those ways. And it just was beautiful. I can't even describe it to anybody. I'm like speechless. I don't know how to describe the words, but when you look at those stars and you look at what God created and you look at that moon and you make those wishes, it's just, it's different. It's still a prayer. You're still praying to God, but to me, it's way greater. I mean, you feel like he's right there. Like you could just reach for him and just, he's holding you like with him. And I think that's why I call it the unknown, because to me, that is the unknown, but God is out there and he hears me, and he hears every wish, every prayer that I make, no matter what it is, no matter how small, no matter how great, he hears it. And those wishes to me are my prayers. And I hope that you guys find something that helps you with your relationship with God, whether it be the outdoors or whether you are in church, that's fine. Whatever works for you, but God knows us. He knows how we feel, and God understands each and every single one of us. Some of us don't feel comfortable being in a church, and I'm one of them. I don't. Yeah, I have tattoos, or I don't want people judging me, because I get judged on the way I look all the time. But honestly, I have a huge heart, and I'm really, really kind. And some people think I look mean, but it's because you don't know me. Once you get to, I mean, I can be mean, but once you get to know me, I really do have a super soft side to me. And yeah, I could go on and on about this, but this is just something special, a little piece of me that I wanted to share with you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.